Hey everyone, welcome back to Solo Party. My name is Kane, and if you're here, you probably already know what we're up to. This is Act 3 of our Ascension 2 run with the Silent. We need to get our boss rewards from Act 2, so we've got our 3 coins here. We're going to check out some rare card rewards. We have 1,000 Cuts, Grand Finale, or Burst. So Burst is going to let you play your next skill twice this turn. Grand Finale can only be played if there are no cards in your draw pile, and I don't know if we can do that reliably for it to be worth it. Or 1,000 Cuts whenever you shuffle your draw pile, deal 5 damage to any row. And yeah, I don't think we shuffle our draw pile enough. We already have a slow build kind of going with the poison. I don't think this really helps us, but Burst helps us get more poison out, or also we are lacking defense, so this could help us play Survivor twice or something like that. So I think we're going to choose Burst for our card reward. And now let's choose a boss relic. And we're choosing between a Snecko Eye. All right, Snecko Eye. I think it's the first time I've seen this in the game. Either a 1 or 2 draws 2 cards, a 3 and a 4 gains you an energy, and a 5 or 6 gives you a daze. Okay. So, I don't know if I like that. Frozen Core at the end of our turn. Okay, that's just going to be some extra block. Not too bad. Or Astrolabe. We get to upgrade 3 cards and use this immediately. Interesting. Snecko Eye does give us 2 of the things we're looking for, card draw and energy, and also, I mean, potentially dazes, but, if we're getting the card draw on other turns, maybe that's not so bad. So let's go Snecko Eye. And now we're going to roll to see what boss we're going to be facing in Act 3. But I want to note really quick this really cool synergy we have with our relics and rolling the number 2. On Snecko Eye, Sundial, Karen's Ashes, and Nilry's Codex, we all have a 2 trigger. We draw a total of 3 cards, gain an extra 2 energy, and anything we draw that we don't want to see in our deck, we can exhaust to deal 2 damage. And I just wanted to point that out because I really do like how they translated the relics into this game. And it feels bad when you don't roll those numbers we want, but on turns when we roll 2s, we're going to be very happy. And now let's see our boss. Now, while I'm not necessarily against playing the same boss 2 videos in a row, I think especially for these early videos, I just want to show off a little more variety. So, if we get Donu Deka again next time, then fine, I'll do it. But 2 in a row, let's just try to see something different at least this time. And a 6 means we'll be seeing the Time Eater. And now for our first encounter, we've got... Okay, so we're going to be facing 3 Jaw Worms. This will give us 2 gold and a card reward. All right, so let's get ready and draw our hand of 7. We've got our Blade Dance, Deadly Poison, Neutralize, After Image, Corpse Explosion. Oh, this is a great fight for a Corpse Explosion, too. And Infinite Blades, almost said Infinity Blades, and a Burst. Okay, awesome. This is a lot of good stuff. So let's roll our die. And just what we were talking about, there's the 2. So with Snecko Eye and Nilry's Codex, we're going to draw another 3. So that's our Survivor, Envenom, and Upgraded Defend. Then Sundial is going to give us another 2 energy, putting us up to 5. And we want to play just about everything else we have. I don't think this fight will go on long enough for Infinite Blades to matter too much, so we'll go ahead and choose to exhaust Infinite Blades to deal 2 damage, and we'll just go ahead and select, we'll do this Jaw Worm that's attacking for 4 this round and put it to 8. We do have a total of 7 damage coming at us, so we do want to try to block that. Now, while I might be able to get away with killing a Jaw Worm on this turn to reduce the damage, I think it's going to be easier for us and we have to spend less resources if we just block through this damage and kind of play the long game, because we did draw our Corpse Explosion too. So we're going to start by spending 1 energy going to 4 and playing our After Image. We'll spend 1 more energy to play Burst. 1 more energy taking us to 2 to play our Survivor, and this will get played twice. So first we gain 2 block going to 2. And then we'll discard a card, and we'll discard our Envenom, which will trigger After Image, and we'll go to 3 block. Then that will trigger again, and we will go to 5 block, and we'll discard our Upgraded Defend to go up to 6 block. Next, we'll spend our Neutralize to deal 1 more damage, taking this middle Jaw Worm to 7 and giving it weak. So now we only have 6 incoming damage, and we have 6 block. So we'll spend our remaining 2 energy on a corpse explosion for this middle jaw worm, putting 2 poison on it. And, well, we're just going to go ahead and also play our deadly poison, so that's going to be 3 on the jaw worm. We'll go ahead and spend 1 of our holy waters to get 1 more energy to play our blade dance, giving us 2 shivs. And we're going to spend both of those shivs right away on the jaw worm to deal 2 more damage, taking it to 6. Then at the end of our turn, the jaw worm takes 3 damage, taking it down to 3 health. So no matter what it does next turn, it will die and then deal 6 damage to the other jaw worm. And now we can clean up. So the first jaw worm will activate, and it's going to gain 3 block and a strength. Then this jaw worm will attack for 3. It will lose its weak, and will go down to 3 block. And then the last jaw worm will attack for 3, taking us down to 0 block, and then it will gain a block. And now it goes back to our turn. We'll draw a hand of 5. Basic Defend, our Clumsy Curse, Dagger Spray, Upgraded Defend, and a Dagger Throw. Now we'll roll our die. And a 1, okay? So a 1 is going to let us do Dolly's Mirror. And if I've calculated everything right, I don't think we're going to take any damage this turn. So with Dolly's Mirror, let's just go ahead and have that, or well, let's just start with Charon's Ashes. So we'll go ahead and exhaust our Clumsy here. And that will deal 2 damage to this jaw worm, removing the block and putting it down to 9. And then I think with Dolly's Mirror, we'll trigger our, with the 1, we also get to draw 2 from Snecko Eye. So let's go ahead and do that first before we decide what to do. Another Defend and Bullet Time. Okay, so then, yeah, definitely with Dolly's Mirror, let's go ahead and draw 2 more cards to get the maximum use out of Bullet Time here. Riddle with Holes, perfect, and a strike. Okay. So we do want to go ahead and spend 1 energy first for our Dagger Throw. We want to do that before the Bullet Time because this does let us draw a card. So maybe we can get something more useful than a Defend, and it is just another Defend. So we'll just go ahead and discard that, which will gain us 1 block. And then we'll spend our last 2 energy to play our Bullet Time. Oh, sorry, we'll deal that 2 damage to this jaw worm, taking it down to 7. Or no, we're actually going to do 2 block to here because we have that Dagger Spray. And now everything in our hand costs 0. So let's go ahead and play the Dagger Spray. That'll deal 3 to everything. So that takes off another block here and deals 2 more damage, taking it to 8. 3 damage to this jaw worm takes it down to 6. And then 3 damage actually goes ahead and kills this jaw worm before Corpse Explosion, but it will still trigger, dealing another 6 and defeating this jaw worm as well. And let's see, it takes this one down to 2. So yeah, let's not even worry about flipping them because we can just play our Riddle with Holes for free, gain 4 shivs, and put 2 towards this jaw worm. And just like that, a huge Bullet Time turn like that just wipes floors, especially if we're getting all this extra card draw from our relics now. So from that fight, we're going to get another 2 coins. And that puts us at 5. And for our card reward, we have to choose from Concentrate, Predator, or Dodge and Roll. So Predator is a 2 cost. It will let me draw 2 more cards. But I don't know. We are getting quite a bit of draw, but I think we were just getting lucky because we were rolling the low numbers there. So yeah, we'll take the card draw. I really would have preferred to see some card draw associated with some block, like a backflip, but we'll take Predator. We've got the energy base for it now, too. So let's go see what path we're going to take. All right, so taking a look at the options for our pathing, even though that first fight went really well, I'm still really scared of these hallway fights. They've been kicking our butt. I feel like our deck shines better in probably honestly just boss fights, maybe elites, but the hallway fights are more focused generally, I think, on having front-loaded damage and not drawing the fight on for a long time, but boss fights are just bigger and longer in nature, so that just fits with the kind of poison deck that we have going on. So this middle pathway with these first 3 events kind of seems really tempting. Because then we can just get either 2 more fights and a shop if we want, or we could go get the campsite, elite, and campsite right at the end. And yeah, I don't want to risk this run. I don't want to lose this early into the Ascensions. So we're going to start up the middle and go for those 3 events. Okay, and our first event is Face Trader. Stop, says an eerie man holding mask. Face, let me touch. Maybe trade. We can take and give. We gain a relic, then lose a relic, or we can exchange. So obviously, exchange only works in multiplayer. So we are going to have to take and give. So yeah, we don't have an option here. We have to gain a relic, and then we'll have to choose one to lose. Okay, I didn't really want to lose any of my relics, honestly, but let's see what we get. And okay, we got another one of the books. We have Necronomicon. So on a 1, the next attack you play this turn is played twice. Okay, not super great with our deck, but could be good for like a double Predator. So while it's not the best for our deck, I think we will go ahead and choose to keep the Necronomicon, and we'll go ahead and get rid of the boot. This is kind of not as useful anymore, just only 1 damage on a 4, 5, or 6. We do a lot of other things with our 4, 5, and 6 anyway, so I think we can feel okay getting rid of this. And now for our next event. Okay, we have Winding Halls. As you ascend the twisting pathways, you notice them inexplicably shift before your eyes. We can embrace madness and add 2 random card rewards to your deck. Interesting. Press on, heal 3 and gain a curse. Well, we don't need to heal, so we're not going to do that. Or we can just lose 2 HP. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to embrace madness. I don't really want to lose 2 HP. HP is precious to us. And I would really like to do the upgrade instead of having to rest at that campfire if we do go towards the elite. So let's just add 2 random card rewards to our deck. We're going to gain Terror. We've been avoiding it in both of the other acts, but now it has been forced upon us. And okay, a Cloak and Dagger. We like to see that with more shivs and some block. And for our third event, we have Tomb of Lord Red Mask. You come upon an ornate floating tomb. 1 choice for the party. All right, so we can offer gold. The party loses all gold, and each player gains a relic. Okay, so 5 points for a relic, not too bad. Or we can don the mask. If a player has the red mask item, which we do not, I think we had that in our Ironclad run, maybe. Each player would gain 6, or we can leave it, nothing happens. 5 gold for a relic seems pretty good. So, yeah, I think we'll just plan on not going towards that shop then. We'll get a relic from this. We'll go rest or upgrade at the bonfire and then hit that elite for another relic. And now we have Wing Boots. You may ignore paths when moving up to the next room. We can use this 3 times and discard it. Okay, so we can actually manipulate our pathing a little bit here if we want, but I think we are more or less going to be choosing the same options. I guess if things get really dicey in this next fight and we don't want to go towards that elite, we could jump to the question mark or something else instead, but I don't think these are going to be super useful to us. And now we can check out our next encounter. We drew a Repulsor, which also summons an Exploder and a Spiker. All right, another good kind of corpse explosion fight here. So let's see how it plays out. We'll get a potion and a card reward. And that's just fine by us because we don't plan on going to any more shops. All right, so we've got the Repulsor and the Spiker with their different die abilities they'll be doing. Spiker also has Thorns. After you play an attack against Spiker, I take 1 damage per cube onto the Spiker. And so it says at the start of combat, we add 1 cube. So we'll go ahead and do that. So for every attack we play against it this turn, we will take 1 damage. And then the Exploder, if we don't kill it in 3 turns, it will deal a huge 10 damage attack and then die. So we definitely want to take out the Exploder sooner rather than later. That's kind of going to be our priority. We have Dagger Throw, Upgrade to Defend, Outmaneuver, Neutralize, Strike, and our 2 extras, Infinite Blades, and a Cloak and Dagger. Okay, not the best, not too bad. Roll our die. Okay, and on a 4, we've got quite a bit to do. With our Snecko Eye, we're going to gain an energy going to 4. With Nilri's Codex, we can trigger a 2 ability. And I think we'll trigger the Snecko Eye with that to draw 2 more cards. For Envenom and Terror. Okay, I get it. Y'all want me to play Terror. I get it, game. And then Oddly Smooth Stone will also give us 2 block. And Loaded Die will give us another block, putting us at 3. 4 also means Repulsor is attacking for 3 and Spiker is attacking for 2. So a total of 5, and of course Exploder is just attacking for 3. So a total of 8 coming at us. So we did need that extra block right there. We'll go ahead and spend 1 energy going to 3 to play our Dagger Throw. We'll deal 2 damage to the Exploder, taking it to 6. We'll draw a card for our Riddle with Holes. And we're just going to go ahead and I'm discarding the Terror. Then I'll go ahead and neutralize the Exploder for another 1 damage, putting it at 6 and a weak. Or sorry, putting it at 5 and a weak. So now we only have 7 incoming damage. I'll play my Defend for 1, taking me to 2 energy and 5 block. And then we'll go ahead and leave Outmaneuver right here for our Retain. And I'm going to spend our last 2 energy to get out Envenom. I'll then go ahead and use both of our Holy Water Cubes to get 2 more energy for Riddle with Holes. And now, yeah, if I was going to do this anyways, it would have been better to get Envenom out first, but, you know, here we are. I think of things on the fly. So I'll go ahead and spend 1, 2 shivs to deal another 2 damage to the Exploder, taking it to 3. Okay, and only 2 poison right there. So I will need to spend 1 more. So that's 3 damage to the Exploder, taking it down to 2. And then it also has 3 poison, so it will die at the end of my turn. And then I'm only being attacked for 5, and I have 5 block. And then I do still get to hold over 1 shiv as well. So with that, I'll end my turn, and that will end the Exploder. And now the Repulsor will attack for 3, taking me down to 2 block. And the Spiker will attack for 2, taking me down to 0 block. So everything fully blocked. And we'll gain our energy back and go ahead and draw our hand of 5. We have Clumsy, After Image, Dagger Spray, Blade Dance, and Predator. And of course, we still have our Outmaneuver as well. We'll roll our die. Okay, another 4. Wonderful. So we'll gain an energy, putting us at 4. We'll go ahead and draw 2 more cards using Nilri's Codex for the Snecko Eye, getting a Burst and a Bullet Time. Perfect. We'll then gain our 3 block from Oddly Smooth Stone and Loaded Die. Then we are once again getting attacked for a total of 5. So we're already at 3 of our 5 block we'll need. So we're going to go ahead and start by spending 2 on Predator. That's going to deal 3 damage to the Repulsor, taking it down to 4. And then we get to draw 2 cards. A Survivor and Defend. That'll also put 1 poison on Repulsor, so we only effectively need to do 3 damage to it here. Well, 2, because 2 would add another poison. And I think no matter what happens here, we have it. We'll go ahead and play our Bullet Time. So no more drawing, but everything costs 0. We'll go ahead and Dagger Spray. 3 to the Repulsor takes it down to 1, and it gets another 3 poison. 3 damage to the Spiker takes it down to 7, and it also gains 3 poison. We then take 1 damage from playing an attack against it while it has 1 cube, so we're down to 2 block. I'll then go ahead and burst a Blade Dance, so I'm at a maximum of my 5 shivs. And I guess I didn't necessarily need to do that because I do only need 2 shivs to defeat the Spiker. Each of those are separate, so that takes it down to 5, and I only have 2 blocks, so that does take me down to 0 block. But the additional 2 poison that adds to the Spiker brings it up to a total of 5. So when I end my turn, both of these succumb to their poison. And now I'll get a potion. Okay, a Cunning Potion, so just a separate attack of 3. Each of these costs... Okay, so basically just kind of like getting 3 extra shivs, so that'll be really good for our poison. And we'll check out the card reward. A Calculated Gamble, discard your hand, then draw that many cards. That could be pretty good. Noxious Fumes, a power that'll just start adding poison. I mean, we do love to see that. Or another Blade Dance. I think we have enough shiv generation between our Blade Dance, the Cloak and Dagger we just got, and Riddle with Holes, so we don't need that. But between Calculated Gamble and Noxious Fumes, Calculated Gamble does work really well with After Image to give us a lot of defense. But I think let's just go ahead and lean even heavier into the poison and take our Noxious Fumes here. Alright, we've been holding up extremely well in these hallway fights, so we do not need to rest at the campsite, and we're going to upgrade. And we're going to upgrade our Burst into a 0-cost card. I think that's going to let us do a lot more in the long run, especially after we've already made the first pass through our deck, and we've probably already used a lot of our extra energy that we get from like Holy Water, so then making this 0 every time we see it in the future is going to be really strong. And alright, I think we are going to go for the Elite at full health. And we have The giant head. All right, so it's got its countdown here, 3, and then it deals a 5 damage attack. It does have slow, so giant head takes +1 damage from all attacks. Okay, so all of our shivs, at least, are also going to do extra damage. That's pretty good. So yeah, it'll do nothing, attack for 5, nothing, attack for 8, and strengthen, back and forth. Okay, so attacks every other turn, but they're pretty big attacks, so kind of scary. Let's see how we manage. So getting Envenom out early and really starting to rush down this poison is, I think, the only way we're going to come out of this alive. There is a possibility of us losing here because these are big attacks, and once it gets to its big attack at the bottom, it's just going to keep hitting us harder and harder every turn until we defeat it. So we need to get, like, 20 poisons stacked on this guy as fast as possible. And our starting hand will be Corpse Explosion, Strike, Survivor, Defend, Neutralize, Riddle with Holes, and Deadly Poison. All right, not exactly what we wanted to see, but not the worst. We'll roll our die. Okay, and a 1. Starting with Snecko Eye, we'll draw 2 more cards. Upgraded Defend and After Image. Dolly's Mirror is going to let us trigger another thing. And I think we're going to use Dolly's Mirror to just draw another 2 cards. Maybe we want to use 2 energy, but we've got our Holy Water still. I want to draw this Envenom as soon as possible, so let's try for it. Dolly's Mirror to draw another 2 cards. Defend and Dagger Throw. Okay, well, maybe Dagger Throw will get it for us. Then Charon's Ashes. We're going to go ahead and exhaust a Defend to deal 2 damage, taking it to 83. And then Necronomicon will also let our next attack we play this turn play twice. So we'll get 2 draws off of Dagger Throw, which I think is what we will start with. So we'll go down to 2 and play Dagger Throw. That's going to deal 3 damage, taking it down to 80. We'll draw a card, Cloak and Dagger, and we'll just discard a Defend, and then it triggers again. So another 3 damage takes it down to 77. And a Bullet Time. It's a wonderful turn for a Bullet Time too, but I do really wish we had drawn into Envenom. We have no more card draw, so we will just spend our last 2 energy on Bullet Time. That'll let us use Corpse Explosion. And we'll go ahead and pair that with our Deadly Poison for a total of 3. Our Neutralize will deal 2 damage, taking it to 75. It will also gain a weak. Might as well go ahead and play our After Image since it's free, thanks to Bullet Time. There's no reason to play any of our Defends, but we will go ahead and play our Cloak and Dagger to get us an extra Shiv. And we're going to hold on to that and wait for Envenom, because we'll go ahead and play Riddle with Holes as well to get our max of 5 Shivs. And then lastly, we can play our Strike for another 2, taking it down to 73. And now when we end our turn, 3 Poison ticks it down to 70. And we can clean up. And now when the Giant Head activates, it's just on its countdown, 3. And so back to us, we're going to draw our 5. We get Blade Dance, Clumsy, Noxious Fumes, Defend, and Envenom. Oh, and a Strike. Okay, let's roll our die. 1s or 2s, so we draw the Envenom. All right, a 5. Starting with Snecko Eye, this is finally going to add a Dazed into our deck, but we've been reaping the benefits of Snecko Eye, so I'd say it's more than worth it. And then we will also gain 1 block from Loaded Die. So we don't really have many options of things to do this turn. It's pretty simple. We're going to spend 1 energy to play our Noxious Fumes. We're going to spend 2 of our daggers for a total of 4 damage, taking it down to 66. And I'm not going to spend those because we are now going to spend 1 more energy on our Blade Dance to give us those 2 we just spent right back. And we are lacking defense, so I will use our Upgrade Defend to take us to 3 block. When I end my turn, another 3 damage takes it down to 63. And then we'll clean up. Our Clumsy exhausts. And now the Giant Head will attack for 4 and remove its weak. We have 3 blocks, so we do take 1 HP damage going down to 7. Now we'll draw another 5 cards. A Dazed, of course. Burst. Predator. Outmaneuver. And Infinite Blades. All right, we really just put the card we wanted most right at the bottom of our deck. So let's go ahead and roll. Okay, and a 4. So we're going to gain an energy. That's going to put us at 4 total. Oddly Smooth Stone and Loaded Die gain us another 3 block, which reminds me, of course, we move this, not attacking, so doesn't matter too much. Just why are you still here? And then Nilry's Codex will let us trigger another 2, and you know we're drawing with Snecko Eye. We want Envenom badly. So a Dagger Spray and a Defend. So literally it's got to be one of the last 2 cards. It's a good thing we drew our Predator because we are definitely about to use it to make sure we draw that. So we will go down to 2 energy to play Predator. That's going to deal a total of 4, taking it down to 59. We'll then draw 2 cards, which of course is our Envenom and our Terror. Oh, at the start of our turn, sorry, Noxious Fumes is out, so it gained another poison. And we are definitely going to go ahead and spend our last 2 energy to get out our Envenom. We aren't being attacked, so we don't need to defend. Just a matter if we want to spend any of our Holy Water energy to get out some more cards. And I think we will. But first, let's just start with our shivs. So we'll go ahead and spend all 5 of our shivs. That's going to be a total of 10 damage and 5 poison. So that takes them down to 49. And another 5 poison takes it to 9 poison. I'll go ahead and spend 1 energy cube off of Holy Water to also give us Infinite Blades. So at the start of the turn, we're now generating a Shiv and a Poison. And I'll save that other energy off the Holy Water just in case we need it for something more defensive, like this next big attack coming up. And we'll go ahead and end our turn there. So with 9 poison, that takes the Talking Head down to 40. Our Dazed will exhaust itself. And we will retain our outmaneuver. And we'll draw our hand of 5. We have Cloak and Dagger, Defend, Neutralize, Survivor, and Terror. All right, a very defensive hand, but pretty good for the turn it is attacking us for a large amount. If we can just defend every turn against the increasing damage, then that's good. But I don't think we can, so we do want to see a little more attacks than this. At the start of the turn, we will add 1 poison, taking this to 10. We also gain 1 Shiv. We'll start by playing Neutralize for 2 damage, taking it to 38, and giving it another poison. Oh, let's roll, of course. Okay, our 6. 6 is going to add a Daze. And I've got the extra energy I can use with Outmaneuver, so I think I'll just choose to draw 2 cards. And we get, of course, the Daze. Well, let's just say, since you can choose the order that you do that, let's say I draw first, because I think that's more in line with what I would want to do. So we'll get Predator and Riddle with Holes, and then the Daze will go on top. Now, obviously, if we use Predator to draw that, then we'll get the Daze that time. Talking Head also has Weak from the Neutralize. We'll go ahead and use our Outmaneuver in order to gain 2 energy, putting us to 5. I'll then spend 1 energy, going down to 4, to play Terror, which exhausts, but it will add a Vulnerable. And then we'll go ahead and spend 2 energy, going down to 2, in order to play our Predator. And now it does 3 plus 1 from Slow, which is 4, doubled with Vulnerable is 8. So they'll go down to 30 and gain another poison, putting them up to 12 total poison. And then we get to draw 2 cards. We get, of course, the Dazed and now a Burst. So with that, we will burst our Survivor for 1 energy, leaving us with 1 energy, but we gain 2 block from that. Then we will discard. We'll go ahead and discard this Dazed, honestly. We'd rather have the Defend instead of that Exhausting. That's all right. So we go up to 3 block, and then it triggers again from Burst, going up to 5 block, and we will go ahead and discard our Riddle with Holes to gain another block, putting us up to 6. We'll then use our last energy on our Cloak and Dagger, putting us up to 7 block, which is how much we needed to block the attack coming in from the Talking Head. We will then spend the Shiv we just gained, as well as this one, for a total of 4 damage, taking it down to 26, and adding 2 more poison, taking the total up to 14. So now we end our turn. It takes 14 damage, going down to 12 HP. It attacks for 7, losing the weak. We fully block, and no matter what we draw next turn, when we end our turn, we have more poison than it has HP, and we have defeated the Giant Head. I've been calling it Talking Head. I've got Psycho Killer on the brain. All right, so we get our 3 coin. We gain a Relic. Get our Centennial Puzzle. Once per combat, we get to draw 3 cards if we've lost HP. Okay, some more card draw. This is awesome, especially on a turn if we get bullet time or something. That's huge. and an upgraded card reward. We have to choose between Choke, Accuracy, and Well-Laid Plans. And I mean, as good as all of these cards are, how can we not take Accuracy with the build we have going on right now? Choke would be +1 damage for each weak and poison on the target. Oh, I guess I should have read that first. That is actually crazy. Yeah, I think we have to play. I think we have to take Choke. That's awesome. That's going to be our huge card, especially if we get a turn where we can play our Terror and then Choke. And that's going to be that's a new win condition for us. So I think we have to take it. And upgrade it. It only adds 1 to the innate damage, which isn't anything to call home about, but still a great card for our deck. And now we have our last campsite, and we are on 7 HP, but we do also still have Fairy in a Bottle. So I don't think I want to waste this on just healing 1 HP. So I think I am going to choose to upgrade a card, and I want to choose right here Infinite Blades, because when this upgrades, it's going to give us 2 shivs instead of just 1 at the start of our turn. And now let's check out the Time Eater. All right, so when we check out the Time Eater, it starts with 60 HP. It's got 3 tracks here, so these little clock symbols tell you on the side Time Warp. Each player can't play more cards this turn than the number in the clock. So that decreases each turn until it goes back to the top. So 5, 4, 3. So kind of hurts our deck a bit, but luckily it does exclude shivs from that, you can see there, so that's good for us. This just means we really need to get our setup cards out on this either 5 or 4 turn, because then we're not going to have many opportunities to play a lot of cards, and we don't just want to have a card where we're only playing setup turns, especially when we're being attacked for 6. So we really only have 3 cards to block 6 incoming damage. And then the first time it reaches 0 HP, it immediately heals 30, gains a strength, and then it'll remove all weakens and vulnerables, which we don't apply. It does still keep the poison, so that's good for us. We just, more than ever, we need Envenom. It is our winning card. It helps us get to our choke win condition as well, so we really hope to see that early rather than later like that last fight. So let's go ahead and check out our starting hand. Cloak and Dagger, Outmaneuver, Defend, Infinite Blades, Clumsy, Deadly Poison, and Neutralize. Okay, not the best, not the worst. Let's draw. Let's roll. And a 6. Already starting with the daze. We did not want to see that. Then we do get to trigger another Die Relic ability. So yeah, we are going to draw. We want to see Envenom. We get... Okay, again, we would have done this in the other order. We get Defend and Predator. Okay, Predator at least lets us draw more, and again, it will draw us into the daze. And yeah, let's see what we can do. We will spend 2 energy, going down to 1 to play Predator. That'll deal 3 damage, taking it down to 57. Then we draw 2 cards. Dazed, of course, and a Riddle with Holes. For our second card, we'll play a Neutralize, taking it down to 56, and we will weaken it. So now we only are getting attacked for a total of 2 this turn. For our third card, we'll play Deadly Poison to give it its first poison. For our fourth card, we'll play our Upgraded Defend to gain our 2 block we need for the round. That does spend our last energy, but we will go ahead and use one of our Holy Water energies to play our 5th and final card, our Infinite Blades. And so that ends our turn, and the poison will tick it down to a 55. And then we'll be attacked for 2, and we will remove the weak and lose our 2 block, going to 0. Of course, our daze and our curse exhausted from our hand during cleanup. And at the start of our turn, we will gain 2 shivs and draw 5. We've got Defend, Upgraded Defend, Strike, Blade Dance, and After Image. Still not what we were wanting to see. Time Eater did tick down here. Let's roll. Want to see some card draw. Okay, great. 2 on a Snecko Eye. Draw 2 more cards. There we go. Envenom and Corpse Explosion. All right. And then we have Charon's Ashes. And we will go ahead and exhaust a basic Defend in order to deal 2 damage, taking it down to 53. We're also going to gain 2 energy from Sundial, putting us up to 5. And then we get to draw 1 more card from Nilri's Codex, which gives us Burst. Okay, perfect. So for card number 1, we're going to spend 2 energy and get out Envenom. Now, we could burst a corpse explosion, but the reason we might not want to do this is because essentially this is just only going to put 4 poison onto the Time Eater, and there's no AoE damage to be dealt to like other creatures, so there's no really other upside for corpse explosion. But if we instead burst Blade Dance, then we're getting a total of 4 shivs, which can then apply 4 poison as well as also deal 4 damage. So I think that's what we're going to do here in a second. So we can have all of those shivs. Let's go ahead and spend 1 shiv to deal 1 damage, taking it down to 52 and another poison. Then for our second card, we will burst. And for our third and fourth card, that will be Blade Dance. So we go up to a total of 5 shivs. We're going to go ahead and spend them all for a total of 5 damage and 5 more poison. That's going to take it down to 47 with a total of 7 poison. Would have liked to get my after image out that turn, but that's the nature of the Time Eater. So we're going to end our turn. That's going to be 7 damage, taking it down to 40. And then we can clean up. Well, I guess I don't think there's any reason to stall on this. Before we end our turn, since they don't count as cards, let's go ahead and use our Cunning Potion for another 3 damage and 3 poison. So that would have made the poison total 10. So if we had it at 47, that 3 damage would take it to 44, and then 10 from the poison takes it down to the 34 it's at now. And then the Time Eater is going to put 3 statuses into our discard pile. And we'll move the cube down. So now we are on the turn where we can only play 3 cards. So at the start of our turn, we will gain 2 shivs. And we'll draw our hand of 5. Survivor, Strike, Defend, Choke, and Terror. All right, so yeah, this is crazy. Kind of the turn we were talking about, and Terror is really going to come through for us right here. Let's roll to see if we get anything else. Okay, on a 4, we're going to gain an energy, putting us at 4 energy. We get to trigger a 2 ability. And yeah, I think let's just go ahead and draw 2 more cards just to see if we get anything else we would rather do. I don't think we will. We get our Noxious Fumes and a Dagger Spray. And then we gain a total of 3 block. So we are still going to need to block through this attack, because even though we are going to defeat it at the end of our turn, it will immediately heal, and that's not going to interrupt its turn. So it will still attack us. So we do want to get up some amount of block here. That being said, we can only play 3 cards. So I think our turn looks like this. We'll spend 1 energy on a Survivor, taking us to 3 energy. And we'll discard a basic Strike. That gives us another 2 block, putting us at 5 block. Then we'll spend 1 energy on Terror, which will exhaust, but that's going to put a Vulnerable on the Time Eater. And then we will spend our last 2 energy on our Choke. And we've got 10 poison on the Time Eater, so 4 plus 10, that's 14. Doubled with Vulnerable is 28 damage. And that puts it at 6 remaining HP. So whenever we end our turn, the poison will tick it down to 0, but then it will heal back up to 30. But that was our 3 cards, so that is all we can play. We end our turn, the poison ticks it down and defeats it, so it heals up to 30 and gains a strength. So we are being attacked for 7 now, and we have 5 block, so we take 2 HP damage, going down to 5. And I saved my shivs for that turn because I knew any excess poison wasn't going to matter. We had enough. So saving that on a future turn where we can deal damage starting from 30 and adding more poison is going to be better than just spending them needlessly there. So we are at least back up to where we can play 5 cards this turn. So let's see what we get. Have a Bullet Time and a Dagger Throw. And now we need to shuffle. And for our other 3 cards, we drew a status. No. Not 2 more statuses. Okay. Definitely not an ideal hand. Let's roll here. Okay, a 4 is going to give us another 3 block this turn. We are definitely going to trigger the Snecko Eye to draw 2 cards with Nilri's Codex because of those statuses. Okay, a Deadly Poison and Riddle with Holes, both very good. And then, of course, we just gained the 1 energy with Snecko Eye, putting us at 4 energy. We gained another 2 shivs at the start of our turn, putting us at 4. And let's just go ahead and start by spending these 4 to deal 4 damage and 4 more poison. That takes it to 26 with a total of 14 poison. Then for our first card, we're going to spend 2 energy for a Riddle with Holes, and we're just immediately going to use all of those again. So that's going to be another 4 damage, taking it down to 22, and another 4 poison puts it at 18. For our second card, we'll do a Deadly Poison, putting it at 19. And now we'll go ahead and use Centennial Puzzle. We have lost HP this combat, so let's draw 3 cards. Defend, Strike, and Predator. Oh, well, now that I'm thinking about it, we actually didn't even need to do that. We have Lethal in our hand for our last card. We can play our Dagger Throw. That'll do 2 damage, taking it to 20. And when we add 1 more poison because of that attack, that is going to be 20 poison. We can just end our turn there, and the time meter is no more. And y'all, that was some rough going in Acts 1 and 2, but it all came together once we picked up that Envenom. That really was the card that transformed our deck into this powerhouse you see before you. Very satisfying to get that far after feeling like I was struggling so much in the first couple acts. That was a lot of fun. I love poison builds and Slay the Spire, so I'm glad I got to pull that off and show you all that. So next, that means I'm going to have an Ascension 3 run with the Defect. I'm super excited for that. Hopefully I can get a beautiful Claw build up and running. I know a couple of y'all are excited to see the Defect as well. So I will be having that out sometime up next week. And until then, my name is Kane. This is Solo Party. Thanks for watching.